See that? Read it. Read it. See his hat? Can you read it? Can you read it? Certified transmission. Need any transmission work, that's who you want to call. Trying to help you out, Tommy, the best I can. Those of you who don't know Tom Hall, he has a YouTube channel. We know Tom Hall, and if you guys like to watch basically travel channel, he travels quite a bit. You might want to go to his channel and just check it out. He's got, I don't know how many videos on there, but hundreds. And just type in Tom Hall, H-A-L-L, on your YouTube thing up there on top. Just type in Tom Hall and you'll see a smiley face. And just check his channel out. He's got a lot more subscribers than I do, but his subscribers aren't near as loyal as mine at all. I got some of the best subscribers that you can get. So there's no competition when it comes to that. The Alzheimer thing, yes, I do. I volunteer for the Alzheimer's walk here in the villages. I have it at the polo field every year. And I'm one of the guys that drives the golf cart limousines. Goes out in the parking lot and will pick you up and take you up to the center where you can register for the walk. I volunteer for Alzheimer's as much as I can to help out on different events they have, because my dad had Alzheimer's, dementia, and I'm really not sure about what the difference is, or if it's just a different stage of Alzheimer's. I never really got clear on that, but it didn't make a difference, because it's just it's not good. It's just not. So support the Alzheimer's organization as much as you can, because there needs to be a cure, treatment, something. It's just not good. Okay, Tommy, I'll help you out best I can. Another web channel I want you guys to go to. It's She Lives Here in the Villages. She has a Homes Craft YouTube channel. I personally don't watch it because I'm not into home crafting. I don't think most guys are. But she has, I don't know, I think over 100,000 subscribers. She's doing well. My wife follows her on YouTube also, on her home crafting shows that she puts on. It's Melody, M-E-L-O-D-Y, Lane, L-A-N-E. So those of you ladies that are into home crafting, DIY kind of things, I think, go check her channel out. And she's also a part of the Villages. I think she does other videos once in a great while, maybe not a lot. You know, golf cart ride-alongs, that kind of thing. So, you know, go there and check her channel out and help support another villager. So, let's get into some of the news. I think there was a little bit things this week of interest. Oh, by the way, I got a email from Mr. Kamek, I think his name was. C-A-M-M-I-C-K, Kamek, I believe. Anyway, we did a video of his house down in DeSoto when he first bought it. And he was nice enough to let us go in there. He sent me a video to help keep me updated, because I don't go down there all the time. I go down there just once in a while, just kind of get caught up on things. That they are now installing the tunnel, or getting ready to install the tunnel. They're working on it. That goes under 468 for the golf carts. And he sent me a video of a little pad, I guess they've already got down, the concrete pad. They're probably digging, and they're getting ready to put that tunnel in. So they're making progress down there for connectivity, which is always good, right?
Well, it's Sunday, September 9th. I'm right here where Finney is. Finney DeSoto, I guess I should say. Directly behind me would be 75. This is the main intersection where you'll come out of DeSoto and go across to where the next phase is. That's where the grocery store is supposed to be. This is the base of the tunnel, which of course when they're done we'll go right underneath. Off there to the right is the golf course, or left, straight ahead as you view it now. But that's the tunnel going underneath the main road here.
Okay, here's some little bit of news here. Magistrate rejects key piece of village's developer's request to alter comprehensive plan. Oh, I think I read this here a while back, that they were arguing about it. I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but my gosh, where is it? Where is it? Well, great. Of course, it'd go to the wrong page, wouldn't it? Right when I want to read it to you, I hit the button that says read more, and it goes to the wrong page. Man, I'm telling you, I am about so fed up with Spectrum's Wi-Fi down here. It is awful. I've called them, and I've called them, and all you get is rhetoric. My wife right now, as of we speak right now, she's going up and talking to Comcast about the Wi-Fi. I really don't like Comcast either. Their service is terrible. Their customer service is slow. There's really nothing good about any kind of customer service with these Wi-Fi and cable TV people down here. They're just awful. And I've lived in different parts of the country, and I have never seen anything like this down here. And I've been here 4 years now, and it's not gotten any better. If anything, because of the expansion maybe, it's gotten worse. And some of the guys that come and install stuff don't work here. They're just subcontractors. They don't care either. I'm just warning you up front that just be prepared for probably some of the crappiest cable service that you've ever seen. Okay, Dunkin' Donuts manager arrested after alleged theft of $1,700 from the safe. Manager of Dunkin' Donuts in Wildwood has been arrested. Now it says in Wildwood, but I don't know if it means in Wildwood or it means Brownwood, because technically Brownwood's kind of part of Wildwood. Has been arrested after the alleged theft of $1,700 from the restaurant's safe. On August 17th and 18th, manager 29-year-old Margaret Janet Richardson admitted to deputies that she failed to make the deposits but denied taking the money. Well, where then where'd money go? If you didn't deposit it, that means you still have it. And if it wasn't deposited when it was supposed to be deposited, that means you kept it. And if you kept it, that means you stole it. That's how it works. You just can't make up willy-nilly stories about what you done and oh my gosh and all that kind of stuff. It ain't gonna work. Quit being stupid. She did not return phone calls. Deputies were told she had moved from her residence. Gosh, don't return phone calls. I moved from my original residence. Money's missing, but I didn't steal it. I just forgot to deposit it. That's how it works. Yeah, we'll believe that one. Richard was located Friday afternoon in Coleman. Coleman is over there by Finney. That's where the federal prison is. And arrested on a charge of grand theft. She was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $2,000 bond. Well, I guess that $1,700 went to help bond herself out. Man staying in Harmswood of Bel Air arrested after threats to estranged wife. Man staying at a home in the village of Harmswood of Bel Air was arrested after allegedly making threats to his estranged wife. The wife of 36-year-old Christopher Lingenfelter had obtained an injunction barring Lingenfelter from coming within 500 feet of her residence in Ocala and her place of employment on Buenos Aires Boulevard in the Villages. She had been pulling into the parking lot of her place of employment when Lingenfelter, driving a black Chevy Tahoe, flipped her off and called her a whore and a slut. You were married to it, so what does that make you, a whoremonger? As she walked to work, according to the arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, he nearly hit his estranged wife with the vehicle and threatened to kill her. The woman told deputies, "It is scary to be looking over my shoulder in fear daily, and then he does this." They have been married for 5 years, the woman reported indicated. A witness verified the woman's account of events. Well, there you go. I was getting ready to say it's just her word against his, but no. She got a witness. And not that I doubted her, because I'm saying that most of these women, they just want to get on with their lives, and when these guys threaten and harass and haunt you and all that kind of stuff, I 99% of the time believe the women. I just do. Not to say that happens all the time. I don't want to get in this argument, but I'm just saying I pretty much believe most of the women. Lingenfelder was arrested at about noon Friday, 1806 La Pinta Place, on charges of assault and contempt of court. He is booked at the Sumter County Detention Center on $3,500 bond. I'll tell you what, son, just move on with your life. You are doing nothing but making things bad for you, and I don't care what you guys' problems are. You're getting a divorce. That's the end of the problem. If there's no children involved, just move on. Just go on. All of this is stupid. It was stupid 50 years ago, and it's stupid today. You're just showing everybody what kind of a dick you are, really. So just move on. Harmswood, actually, it's up in the older area. I haven't been to Harmswood in years, but from what I can remember of the place, back in the day when they were kind of building houses up in that area, up around Nancy Lopez and stuff, the so-called build out, Harmswood was a very nice area. Secluded. It used to be one of, if not the only village that had the sliding gates. Not the gates that go up and down with the cheap little plexiglass pole that they got, or pipe, or whatever it is. But it had gates, actual gates, that slid this way to let you in and out. I know when I worked up to the CD office up there, every now and then I'd have to work inside, and where all the cameras are, and people that would forget their cards or just didn't care or just too lazy, it's hard to tell. They poke the red button because they want me to open the gate for them. And I can just remember doing that a couple of times. And one time that I opened the gate for a guy, of course the camera's there and I can see, I opened the gate for a guy and he was driving a Rolls Royce. So apparently, from what I've seen, that it must be a little bit of an influential area. But what I remember driving through years ago was it looked like it was going to be a very nice area. And what else we got? Anything good? Driver of box truck ticketed after a crash in roundabout near Savannah Center. Roundabouts seem to be a little bit of a problem down here. Not a lot really, but a little bit. People just seem to don't know what lane to be in. And each lane in the roundabout has a specific purpose. If you're in the right lane in a roundabout, you're supposed to exit at the very next exit. You don't go around about 3 and 4 exits and then get off in that right lane. If you move in the right lane, the very next exit, you're supposed to move off. The center lane is a continuation lane. But it's also an exit lane, and that's the part that gets a little screwy. If that person in the right lane wants to go straight to the next exit, and you're in the left lane and you're going to exit off, that's where the accidents happen. Person in the right lane is wanting to go to the next exit, you're in the center lane exiting now, and then the person in the right lane hits you. And actually the person in the right lane is at fault, because it's not a straight lane, that's an exit lane. And these accidents happen every now and then. My suggestion is, instead of getting into the argument, is just stay away from everybody. I don't care what lane you're in, just stay away from everybody. Prosecutor objects to villagers' list of witnesses in case of alleged sex with teen guest. He is one sick individual as far as I'm concerned. Attorney General Bundy sues a rental car group over toll fees. You know, this has been a couple things going on. I don't know what the deal here is. I don't know if it's the same person or not. I don't remember. But there was a lawyer, maybe it was the Attorney General. Don't quote me. I don't know. I don't remember. But he is suing a cruise ship company for ripping off some villagers here. Don't know what, I don't have the whole story in my head right now. I'm sure that comments down below, some people here that probably maybe got screwed, I don't know, but they'll leave a comment below of what's going on. But they're suing that cruise ship company or somebody related to the cruise ship for ripping off villagers. And now we got this lady here, Attorney General Bundy, I guess that's a woman's name, Bundy, sues a rental car group. It shows Thrifty and Dollar Car Rental Company. Attorney General Pam Bundy has filed legal action against Thrifty and Dollar Car Rental for billing practices involving toll fees and other charges to customers in Florida. The complaint alleges that charges for cashless tolls are being misrepresented as fines or violations, and customers are being billed grossly inflated fees for each toll incurred. The company charges $10 to $15 each time one of its rental car customers drives through a Florida cashless toll, and up to $105 during the course of a rental. That seems a bit much. Villager gets break when golf cart DUI bargained down to lesser charge. It was 57-year-old villager's attorney was able to reduce a drunk driving arrest from earlier this year to a reckless driving charge. The woman will lose her license for 6 months, be placed on probation for 1 year, and has been ordered to serve 80 hours of community service. Okay, that's probably a first offense. That's pretty typical here of what they do on first offense. Victim extracted from car after Labor Day crash in Fruitland Park. My guess would be that'd be on 441 and 27. Traffic up there is horrendous. Wintertime is even worse. I don't even want to go up there. And I drove back and forth to work in Indianapolis every day. 27 and 441 is worse. Crews forced to dig up yards in villages to replace damaged stormwater pipes. Remember, they kept saying it was a sinkhole and damages to, different driveways and stuff up there. I'll just read it real quick. I won't read the whole thing. Repairs are underway on a stormwater drain pipe in the village of Winifred that failed and caused 2 large holes and a sunken area in a resident's front yard. Remember, the Sumter County engineer went up there, put cameras down the drain pipes, took pictures, and he did all kinds of tests. He came out with an official report. The official report said those were not sinkholes. Those were areas of washout, or whatever you wanted to call it, because of damaged stormwater drain pipes. And it was washing the sand away, causing the ground to collapse. Yeah. Sinkholes my ass. Every time there's a hole in the ground, that's the first thing everybody wants to scream. Woman jailed after allegedly firing gun within 1,000 feet of library in the villages. Man, are you people on drugs or something? What the heck is going on with you people? You're old and you're getting screwy. My dad has Alzheimer's and never done any of this kind of thing. You have no excuse. Okay, I'll read it to you. The woman was jailed after allegedly firing a gun within 1,000 feet of a library in the villages. Valerie Ann Cole, 54, who has been staying with an older woman at Continental Country Club in Wildwood. Continental Country Club, we played golf over there 1 year. It's an older retirement community. A lot of modular type homes. And there's like one golf course in the middle of it. But the country club was, I'll call it a country club, was nice restaurant. They treated us very well. They were very nice. But it's older area. It's straight across the street, basically, almost straight across. It's just down the road, actually, but it's on Highway 44, not too far from Brownwood. And that's where it's at. And you can take your car and drive in there and look around. There's a guard shack there. He'll help you out. So, you know, if being around the villages interests you, but you maybe can't afford or you just don't want to be in the villages, Continental is an option to go look. Cole, who is said to be going through a divorce, had been with the older woman at about 9:30 a.m. in the parking lot of the Pinellas Public Library on Powell Road, looking for the nearby Sumter County Sheriff's Office Public Safety Building. Cole is a suspect in a drunk driving accident that occurred last week and was looking to retrieve her car, which had been impounded, as well as medication, which had been seized. They don't seize your medication if it's in your name. So my guess is you had a bottle of pills or whatever you had. They took it because you couldn't prove it was yours. So it ain't like that. I just don't want people to think that they just take your blood pressure pills away from you or heart pills away from you. They don't do that. There's a reason why they took them pills. Cole had been off her medication for several days. An arrest report indicated Cole, who was seated in the passenger seat of the vehicle, began arguing with the older woman who was in the driver's seat. Cole pulled out her pink camouflaged 9mm Glock semi-automatic handgun and fired a round out the open window into the air. I'm just trying to get it in my head. Pink camouflaged gun. If it was pink, I'm just wondering what was the camouflage for? Who are you hiding that from? The older woman convinced Cole to put away the gun, and they drove back to their home on Big Oak Lane. Back at the house, and while standing in the driveway, Cole got her gun out again and fired a round into the air. They went inside, and Cole fired another round into the ceiling. In the house? Where you're staying? You shot the old lady's house? I'd throw you out right on your dead butt, right then. The older woman took the gun, but Cole began knocking the woman's arm against the door jamb in an attempt to get it back. The older woman was able to hold onto the gun and call 911 while Cole attempted to break the cordless phone the woman was using. Lady, you're a psycho nutbag. Deputies arrived on the scene, and a crime technician was able to recover shell casings and a live 9mm round on the driveway. Cole, who appeared to be intoxicated at 9:30 in the morning, was arrested on charges of assault battery on a person over the age of 65, firing a weapon from a vehicle, and firing a weapon inside a dwelling. She was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center, where she will be held without bond. Good. Keep her there. Screwball. No charges against Leesburg mom shown on Facebook video dunking child's head into toilet. You know, some of these people, I swear to God, must not have had their ass smacked when they were little or something, because there's just no sense in this. There are so many people out there that can't have children that would love to have children. Here you're lucky to have two of them, and you treat one of them. I mean, maybe he's being totally disruly, I don't know. But to dunk his head into the toilet, 3-year-old kid, really? Well, I'm not even going to read that story. It's sickening to me. Village of Delmar home burglarized after sunroom door pried open. Delmar is, if you're up at Spanish Springs and you leave the square and you cross, I don't even know what that 4-lane road is right there behind Spanish Springs, but Delmar Boulevard, I think it's called, goes straight through there. That's the village of Delmar, and it goes all the way down to, I believe, Rio Grande Boulevard. and then you can turn right on Rio Grande Boulevard, and it takes you over to Morris Boulevard to head back down, say, toward Lake Sumter area. That's a busy area, and that area is used by locals all the time. I did the gate up there a couple of times, and that area, I ain't kidding you, it's like a racetrack. People come from that main road that they don't live in the villages, but they use that road to cut through. And a lot of them go in and out all the time, going to the shopping centers there, coming across to Morris Boulevard to go wherever they want to go. Most of them will come across to Morris Boulevard, turn left, go just a little ways. There's 466. They turn right on 466 and go over to the shopping center. And it's a residential area all the way through there, but people will go through there 45, 50 mile an hour. The police catch them all the time, but it hasn't slowed anybody down, really. A village of Delmar home was burglarized after a sunroom. Basically, that's his lanai, and maybe he put windows in or something, I'm not sure, and turned it into a sunroom. The burglary at the home in the 600 block of Prado Drive was discovered this past Saturday by the homeowner, who spends part of the year in Minnesota, according to an incident report from the Lady Lake Police Department. 43-inch Philips flat-screen TV, a TV soundbar, and a Samsung DVD player were stolen in the break-in. Okay. So the odds are you ain't never getting none of that back. You made a report. Call your home insurance, I guess, because it's gone, and who knows how many months it's been gone. So sorry, that's all I can say. But this really is just to let people know that things do happen here in the villages. I'm not trying to put this place down in any way. I love it here. We love it here. My wife loves it here. I've never lived in a place like this before. It's got growing pains goes on here and there that you can understand. Some of the restaurants also have growing pains. The good, the bad, all that kind of stuff. But I don't want you to think, they call this the bubble. We're in the bubble. But that really don't mean what you might think it means. Some people think that means that we're totally protected here. We're not. Things happen. All the roads inside the villages are public roads. That's the first thing. Second thing is, this is not a gated community. I know it has the appearance of that. But when we took our training, and everybody else took their training, and when I bought my house, and we sat down with the realtor and the closing agent, that sometimes I don't think people are really listening to, but they all told us this was a community with gates. I never, at that time, it never dawned on me what they really said. I really never paid attention to that. But when we had our safety training and stuff, when I worked for the villages, they were explicit about that. So people think of this as a gated community. We are not a gated community. This is a community with gates. She said there's a specific difference. So I just want everybody that's listening that might be my new subscribers, that might be interested in moving down here. It's something that I have said before, but I'll repeat it every now and then, just so new subscribers will know, because I know that most subscribers really don't go down into the older videos and then work their way up. They may go on to the past 2 or 3, and that's as far as they go, and they watch those, and that's it. Because I get the same questions over and over and over again, which tells me that they're not really going down and watching the older videos. And that's fine. I'll answer them. So you know, all of our country clubs here are open to the public. They are not just villages only. The executive courses are villager residents and their guests only. And I know that the real estate people that work here, they can't even play on the executive courses. They can play the country clubs because they're open to the public, but they can't play executive courses. Those are residents and their guests only. Another thing that's kind of a trigger for me, it just really upsets me, and I have called about it several times. And so I know what I'm telling you is right, because the Rohan office, people that represent Mr. Rohan, which is the head of the recreation department, has told me 2 or 3 times. So I know what I'm telling you is correct. It's beyond argument that Our neighborhood swimming pools are for residents and their guests only, and everybody has to be 30 years old and older with a guest pass and a picture ID. If you don't have that picture ID, the person that comes through and checks the identities of everybody in that area could have the right to ask you to leave and come back with that picture ID. I'm not saying they will, I said they do have that right. But here's my argument, is that a lot of the contractors here, the people that mow your grass, trim your hedges, those people, they stop and use our restrooms in the neighborhood swimming pool areas all the time, like a public restroom. They're not supposed to be in there at all, none of them, for any reason. It's for residents and their guests over 30 only. And I've called in on it several times, and they say it's an ongoing battle. Said that the major companies here, like Massey, Smart, the big businesses here, they know that, and they tell their employees not to go there. So you don't generally see those people there. But it's the smaller guys, the guys that has a trailer sitting next to his garage at his house. And those guys go around here and they mow grass and whatever. And I'm not putting them down. They're trying to make a living, and God bless them for that. You know, they're trying to work. That's fine. But those are the ones that will stop in there and use them restrooms like they're a public restroom. And the argument is this: they walk in all these yards, they're mowing grass, they're cutting hedges, they're doing their thing. These yards down here get sprayed, I won't say all the time, but pretty regularly with weed killer. They get sprayed with insect killer for like mole crickets and things like that. There's all kinds of chemicals that gets on the bottom of their shoes. And then they walk in our swimming pool area and they're tracking that stuff in our pool. And I know of 2 people in our pool area that had to go to a doctor because they were breaking out in some kind of a rash and they didn't know what it was. Well, and the doctor didn't really figure out what it was either. They give them some kind of antibiotic creams and stuff, and finally the rash cleared up. Well, I went up and I told the director about it, and I said, I'm thinking these guys are tracking chemicals in there. And he said, yes, they do. He said, they've had problems with it before. He said, so if they pull in there, if they have a sign on their truck, he said, take a picture of it and send it to me. He said, because we will track them down and let them know that they're not supposed to be in there. I've heard so many residents here say, well, what else are they supposed to do? Where else are they supposed to go? Well, here's my answer to that. I don't really care. They're not supposed to be in there, and I don't want to see people getting sick because somebody's got to take a leak. Every country club, here's my answer to where they're going to go. Every country club here is open to the public. That's where you need to go. Take your trailer, take your mower, take your pickup truck, go to the nearest country club, go in and use that restroom. That's where you need to go. Our neighborhood pools is not where you're supposed to go. And I'm going to fight this. I'm going to take pictures, and I'm going to continue arguing about it until my neighborhood pool is clear of this crap. Like it or not, I'm going to be their enemy. All right. Well, anyway, I think I'm done with all that. And I think I've argued enough, and I've kind of vented enough, and I've kind of went off on the other side of the fence a little bit. I got a hedge to trim I've been working on. I got a bedroom I got to try to somehow get finished painted. It's very hot right now this time of year. I don't know why. It's cooling up north, but it hasn't got here yet. We're still in the 90s most of the time. Very high humidity. So when I work, take a break, work, take a break. I drink a lot of water. That's all you can really do. So anyway, I appreciate everybody that's watching the video. I appreciate all you new subscribers. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors.
Hi, this is Nick and Sherry, Mike and Carla, and we're from the St. Louis area. We're here to see our buddy Skip, and we'll see you on the other side.